believes in putting parents in charge of children. That means I don't like gay people. I'm sorry, that's what it means.
That means he wants to be able to make a decision or help.
A decision about what?
He doesn't want schools making decisions for
about
his kids.
About gay people. And racism.
I wouldn't let Cenk around my children. I'm so sincere. I am, because this is not the first time I've seen him get this weird about this topic. I'm sorry. It does give me an emotional response where I keep stopping the video like that.
We had somebody earlier tell us that if Trump was standing on the steps of the White House and murdered someone, he'd still vote for him. Same with you?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I don't know. I like Trump. He just got something about him.
Trump can do no wrong. That was the dominant message.
Okay, so before she gets all, everybody's gonna, get all worked up, like, you see, because we already know where this is going to go, okay? Let me just say, I have no beef with this man who just said that. This is not the average voter. However, I would imagine that he reaches that decision as far as he comes to that conclusion because in his mind, he's thinking automatically, if he did something like that, he had a reason to do it. To be fair, and you guys probably are like, what is she doing right now with this unhinged, explanation? Bear with me. It's not that unhinged. Just listen. To be fair, that is the kind of trust you're supposed to have in your president. To be honest, let's keep it real. This is the commander-in-chief. And if you think about it, they make the decisions that blow people up constantly, right? And that's not me taking like I'm being a humanitarian. I'm just saying, in a war, he's going to make the executive decisions. So it is kind of supposed to be like that. Okay? So I just feel like already it's going to go somewhere it doesn't need to. It's not that deep. It really isn't.
Message among some Trump supporters who spoke to our very own Michael Schor at the former president's rally in Pickens, South Carolina over the weekend. Let's watch a little more of the reaction to Michael Schor's question.
There are indictments. There's audio tape of him with classified documents, sharing them with people who didn't have that security clearance. Does any of that bother you?
No, I think they've been after him so long that all of this is just a witch hunt, like he described it. I don't think there's anything Trump's done wrong. I think that the desperate opposition is just after him. I mean, they started out, and they've been after him 8 different ways, and they're going to keep after him until they can get him in jail, I think.
They went after Richard Nixon, they went after Bill Clinton, and now the courts in several different states are finding different things about Trump. Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could
stand
on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Good for him. You know why? Good for him because they're trying to use him. Okay, they're trying to use him like, oh, he knows too. He's like, they're gonna play this and they're gonna, show this about me and make it seem like I'm some sort of, horrible person. I had somebody do that to me at a Doug Mastriano rally. They never let me see the footage because they probably didn't know how to take me because I kind of sound like this. I do about certain things. I definitely do. And it was like, oh my God, this black girl here at the Doug Mastriano rally in Harrisburg, PA. And we don't know what to do with her because she's saying that J6 is not the biggest deal on the face of the planet. Okay. Like, be clear. Just because I have my issues with Trump right now does not mean that all of a sudden I go back on everything that I felt. My values are always my values. And that's why I have my issues with Trump. Now, coming back to it, they take these people and it's like to show, like, look at these right-wing white people. They just don't care if Trump going to shoot somebody. Like, calm down. And so what we're going to see in this clip, and I'm just giving you the heads up, is Cenk Uygur, as usual, getting it wrong and losing his mind. Like, calm down.
Not for me.
He's kind of repeating what he's heard in right-wing media about how there's no there. These indictments mean nothing. There's no evidence of him engaging in any wrongdoing. And I do think that.
So I'm sorry. I know I keep cutting. Usually I like to let it play for a little while just to, get the grip. But I'm going to forget this point too. By the way, guys, if you like this video that I made, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much, though, for, watching, for every eye that lands on these videos. I truly love making these videos, guys. Coming back to it real quick, what she said, that's another thing I can't stand what they do. See, I'm me, right? They'll say, oh, you just believe what the right wing media has told you. No, I've done my own research. Okay. I've been doing my own research since 2020 when I figured out what kind of system we live in where the media will lie to about anything, including a too hard cough, and tell everybody to destroy their businesses over it. Okay. We're not going to go there right now. And so ever since then, yeah, you're not going to get me again. So I question a lot of things, right? When we talk about the classified documents, he's a president who's holding classified documents. If he decides to show the world, I don't understand this thing. Oh, but they're classified, so that's, you can't do that because the people need security. Here's the basic point of that argument to me. And then usually, listen, I'm not one of those who goes for all these crazy definitions and all of this. Once I get a basic common sense of something, I feel like I can go far with it. I've done it before in debates, and it seems to work. Okay, I'm always ready for growth. But anyway, this isn't about me. The president takes home the classified documents like everybody else did. Once it's in his hand, it's already unclassified, if I'm not mistaken. If he decides to show it to the person has the right to see it. There's no special, there's no ceremony that we do to classify a person to see these documents. Is that the highest ranking person is showing you a document. Now, a lot of these people take this stuff home. They can. There's nothing that I know that's written that says that they can't do it. Now, they have to make sure that it's in a secure spot. Obviously, Joe Biden had his in his garage. Nobody checked on him, but Trump, they checked on them documents before, and they were like, all right, they're locked, they're good, whatever. But if he decided to show it, first of all, even if he decided to show it, wait a minute, I am American. I'm the citizen. I paid for this crap, right? Why can't I see the classified documents? If a president or ex-president or whatever decides to show me the classified documents, why can't I see them? We act like this case is against some sort of Russian spy, because that's what they would say. I can't see the documents that I'm paying for? That's exactly how I feel. Drop a comment, let me know. Maybe I'm being ridiculous.
That statement is the product of his media filter bubble. However, with that said, he also admits that if Trump committed murder, he would still support him. And so that goes against, what my belief is in regard to most Trump supporters who it's not that they support his criminality, it's just that they don't believe his criminality to be true. But in this particular case, clearly this supporter doesn't really care too much about potential criminality or if he literally committed murder, which blows my mind.
And the guy before him and a lot more people. So let me give you both sides here because there's reality on both sides. So what do I mean by that? So first of all, having seen a ton of these interacting with Republicans outside of these interviews, but also seeing the whole breadth of the interviews that we do all the time. First of all, not all Republicans think that way. And so it's easy to say, okay, they're all the same, and which, by the way, they think of us too, right? And so I have seen slightly more moderate Republicans, and certainly I've seen plenty of Republicans who would say,
I'm not going to wait for Cenk to barely get it out his mouth that not everybody's the same. And also, I'm not going to wait for his acceptance or the need for Cenk to say that not everybody is like this. I don't even need him to say it. How about that, right? Because I'm keeping it very real with you. If they would have asked me that question, I might have answered the same way too. The thing is that they stereotype a certain look for a question like that. I've seen it done. I remember during the big cough that destroyed the legislation came out to put us away. Anyway, they would ask people like these two gentlemen who, I will sit down and I've talked to people like rural white people. Anyway, I've had plenty of great conversations with them. Now, they go to these people with the accents and they said, do you wear a mask? And the person said, it's against my constitutional right for you to force me to wear a mask. which is absolutely true. And the same thing that I was saying. And they say, oh, this the white supremacists are saying this. And I'm like, no. And then I used to be like, why do they keep showing these people? There's other regular, like not regular, but like there's other people who feel the same way. And then I realized like they were basing a narrative. I had to learn a lot. I'm like, oh, they're building a narrative around people who don't want to wear the mask. You know what I mean? Like everybody's a white supremacist who doesn't want to wear the mask. So somebody like me, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. Those people are they're very well spoken, you know, they're just passionate, right? That's how I feel. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Don't build the narrative. I can't stand what these people do, these liars. But I don't need Cenk to tell me that I'm okay, that I'm not okay, that it's right, that, you know, whatever I'm saying is all right. I don't need him to do it.
Right now, they seem to be completely unaware of the money that Trump has taken from wealthy donors, the corruption that he engaged in. But nonetheless, they were specific about corruption. And in that interview that you just watched, he mentioned other things, being able to make decisions for your own family and all of that. Open borders. He thinks that there are open borders. He's concerned about that as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't make the situation any better. So I'll give you my point of view. When he says, hey, I like that his boys are hunters. I don't. I think that those guys massacred those poor defenseless animals. They weren't just doing like deer hunting. They were doing a big game for entertainment. Right. But that's in prelude to, okay, you like hunters. That's your business. It's not my business. Okay, it is what it is. And so that's a fine reason to like them. And even though I disagree, Washington, they're from all the other guys are from Washington, and they're corrupted by Washington. That's a totally fair point. Okay, so but Trump is also corrupted by Washington 10,000 times more. But that's the fault of the Democrats. For example, Trump and his PACs took over $100 million from Sheldon Adelson twice. And the Democrats never talk about it. Why? Because they're also corrupt. And they don't want to talk about the donors because they're swimming in donor money. But if you wanted to pound Trump, you'd pound him on his corruption. The guy who did anything and everything for Adelson, even gave his wife a Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's a joke, total joke. But those guys don't know it. Now, the bad stuff. He has.
By the way, he is right about a lot of what people don't know. It's not about, oh, Trump's 10,000 times more corrupt. No. The corruption that's going on both sides. They don't know that. I will say. Right-wing media is not going to open them up to that at all.
Our values, does he? What's your values? I mean, you don't mean family values. He's raw dogging porn stars, and he says terrible things, does terrible things. You don't mean family values. So what values are you talking about? Oh, he believes in putting parents in charge of children. That means I don't like gay people. I'm sorry, that's what it means.
That means he wants to be able to make a decision or help.
A decision about what?
He doesn't want schools making decisions for his kids.
About gay people. And racism.
I wouldn't let Cenk around my children. I'm so sincere. I am, because this is not the first time I've seen him get this weird about this topic. I'm sorry. It does give me an emotional response where I keep stopping the video. Like I kind of want to meet this person so we could debate this, because so I could say like, well, what is the obsession with gay people? Like, I don't want the schools telling my kids that they're going to hide the fact that they're taking medicine to change your so-called sex. Like, are you serious right now? And so I have to love everybody and accept that. That's how mad it makes me. I don't understand. It makes me feel very weird. Okay, I'm just saying.
Right? He doesn't want racism taught. Those are the two issues, Anna. Those are the two issues in the schools.
Those are not the two issues, okay? One of the issues that you're totally downplaying right now, not even mentioning, is that some school districts want to, let's say a student comes out and identifies as transgender, school districts want to support that student and, help him or her through that transition without ever having to notify the parents. I think there are issues there. Okay, and I do not begrudge parents for being concerned about that.
Anna, I agree with you. But you're finding a sliver of an issue. That guy's not talking. He doesn't even know that. All that guy knows, and what 98% of them know is, I don't like them teaching about gay people in school, okay? And I don't like them saying, oh, we were racist back to slavery and Jim Crow and redlining. Come on, we know what it means. That's 98% of their efforts in schools. And then when he says open borders, there aren't actually open borders. What he's saying is, I don't like Latino immigrants. They don't look like me. I don't like them. That's my values. Sorry. Republicans, I wish you were better. Not all of you, but a lot of you. The MAGA guys, that's why he says, as long as you're like us, I don't mind if you shoot someone on Fifth Avenue or in front of the White House. I don't mind because you're us and not them. keep it real. And that's what you're saying. And that's, by the way, also why they're never going to turn on him. Not all of them, but hardcore MAGA never, ever, ever, ever going to turn on Trump. Why? Because he is them. He is them. They see him, they're like, that guy's just as racist as I am. I like it. DeSantis has an ad out now about how much he hates gay people more than Trump does. And that might hurt him because they're like, oh, I thought Trump hated gay people as much as I do, right? So when he says values, he means the opposite of values. I watched all the tapes. All of them say, he's like us. They don't mean all of us. They mean, and when you ask them about the issues, they always go to, I don't like Latinos, I mean immigrants. I don't like gay people, I mean.
He's literally foaming at the mouth. Like he has those spit lines. He's pissing me off. I don't know how she does it because I would have been like, yo, you doing too much. You know, like it's too much. Guess what? I don't want my schools teaching my kids about homosexuality. Okay. I don't care. I don't. All right. I didn't get taught that and I'm perfectly well-rounded. I'm not out here hurting gay people. Okay. Nor do I need to be accepted by anybody who feels like I should be tolerant of everything. I'm not that tolerant. I'm not that tolerant at all. I'm not. I'm reasonable. I'm rational. I'm balanced. I can have any conversation, but I'm not tolerant of everything. It's not racist to say we want closed borders. Now, obviously, this was before the so-called Venezuelan gang, which I just call it the illegal gang with accents, right? And now look, the borders aren't open, but now you're reporting on what's going on because of the open borders, right? This guy really, and because Trump is you're still toting that Trump racist stuff? Like, get a grip, bro. Like, I'm so sick of that. Gosh, I'm so sick of, I could never be, like, even though I don't really call myself a this or that, boy, I could never be a Democrat. That's why when people say, but you wouldn't even think about voting Democrat. You're certainly right. I did that long enough. It didn't work. And the Democrats have absolutely lost their mind. They want, like what she said, the kids to go to school. Next thing you know, you got problems. Next thing you know, your kid is hearing voices and you didn't even know that the nurse was giving them certain medication. Okay.
I want parental control in schools. So that's the reality. You can see it all over the tapes.
That is your interpretation. None of that was actually said. It is what you have taken out of his statements there.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and hey, by the way, guys.
Admit that.
Oh, by the way, guys, you guys all be the judge.
Just like anyone can watch the statements you made in regard to the story out of Israel today and say, he said what he said, and I could either take what he said at face value or just put words in his mouth and call him an anti-Semite.
Boom. And we could just leave it there because Cenk has said enough. Sometimes he talks way too much. She should have cut in a long time ago. And she's absolutely right. Everybody's doing the same thing to everybody. And I had to even say this on a Twitter conference space thing the other day. Where I was like, this labeling thing, it really has to stop on both ends. Like I'm sitting here and now here I go doing the black girl thing, but I'm as what people will perceive me as a black woman in America telling people I don't call everyone racist simply because they say we have a black crime issue. This is not even the conversation. This is not even a trophy. That's basic, right? Like it's entry level stuff. Okay, I'm not breaking barriers by saying that. It's just let's get to the point. Let's just get to the point. But anyway, what he does, you're so like what somebody did something. This is how, when he gets like that. I'm like, did something happen? I don't know how she does it. I don't even know. Like we missed the whole point of everything. Like he's really got to just stop. And it doesn't matter when this came out, when this didn't come out. This is still him today. It's like Trump beat him up in junior high school and he can never forget it. And anybody that's connected to Trump is going to feel the wrath of that ass whooping he got from junior high. It's absolutely astonishing the way Cenk acts about Trump and his supporters. And yes, Trump does have a base that will not listen to anything bad said about him. It does bother me, not because they're so loyal to him. It's not that. It's just I'm a little, concerned because if things don't go the way they think it's supposed to go, not with the election. Like if Trump gets elected and he doesn't do what he claims that he's going to do or something doesn't go their way, they're going to be heartbroken. They are waiting for him to save the country. And at one point, I was there too. And I don't hate this man. I don't. I just know the machine that surrounds anybody who tries to do that, okay? They literally took out a president before. It's not that deep, okay? It's like, okay, you notice it, you see it, and you're like, we got to take that out first before we can get anything else done. And in fact, it is the people who are going to have to save the country. It's always been that way, no matter what I figured out or didn't figure out. That's something I felt maybe a year after, Trump, so-called, when Biden was placed in. And we'll leave it there. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.